Hmm. Cookie. Oatmeal cookie. Oatmeal cookies are perhaps Americans' greatest cookie. They're easy to make. You get oatmeal, you put your butter or whatever, however you make cookies. My cousin, Lupe, she used to make cookies. She learned how to make that in what? In home cooking in high school. So she used to make cookies every day for the longest period of time I can remember, and they tasted good. I've learned to love oatmeal cookies. Now they put raisins and nuts or chocolate chips or whatever, but I like the original ones, the oatmeal cookies. But that's not my point that I want to make right now. My point is about language. I think it was Benjamin Franklin who said that your enunciation or your pronunciation of words is not that important. The important thing is to try to understand the individual. I have a speech impediment, which I had since a child, and I lately I've been telling people I have a speech impediment. They say, "Oh, I can't hear anything," but they're just trying to make me happy. But in the Bible, there was the people right there, and they were wanted to build a tower. That's called the Tower of Babel, and they wanted to reach up to the sky. So what God did is He, boom, confused all their languages. This way, they won't be able to communicate with one another. Being far away from home in a strange land, a strange place, without your family, your friends. I'm sorry, I get emotional when I touch certain things. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. So you try to convey your messages that you want in your own language, in the way you would speak at home. It brings that place of warmth back into the place that you're in. You may be in Thailand, China, Japan, or wherever you may be at, but it brings that comfort into your heart, that warmth. A lot of us, most of us that know one or two languages can express ourselves better in our mother's tongue. That means for me will be Mexican, Spanish. For other people, it will be maybe Chinese, Portuguese, German, French, or what, Italian, or whatever. It brings us closer to that. There's been many of books that have been written in one language and they're translated in a different language. They lose this touch. They lose the touch because the phrases and the phrase. I'm looking at TV. I'm sorry. Some guy was taking a shower out in the street, but it loses its touch, its magic touch. I always use an example, and this is the example that I use. There's a lady. She has her friends around there in her house. Okay, you can put the park or whatever you want to put the grocery store. I don't care. You can put the bar. It doesn't matter. But she's among friends. One of them brings the kid over, her child. The other ones, maybe they bring the child. But this particular child goes over there to the mother, and he starts talking. Meow, 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 nee, 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 nee. Do, 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 do. And everybody looks at the mother of the child. What did he say? Ooh. But the mother, being the mother of that child, knows exactly. See, there's my speech impediment. Exactly what the child wants to say, because there's love right there that's transmitted. If you want to learn, if you want to really hear somebody, it doesn't matter what language you're talking. It could be translated. In America, we have what you call the American Sign Language. Yeah, I think it's called different in other places, but it's the American Sign Language. If I go to a foreign country, I walk into a restaurant, and I like to order myself a cup of coffee. You know, they'll understand me because they want to understand you. When we take away a person's way of expressing themselves freely, we take part of that away. We don't make him at home anymore. Let me get back to the child and her friends and a baby. Okay? The child comes over there to the mother and he says something. One of the ladies is busy. Maybe she's the one that has the floor. In other words, she's the one that's speaking, talking, while the other ones are listening. And she looks at the child and she says, "Oh, can you please, tell that child to, I'm speaking right here." But the child becomes anxious and he pulls, let's say she, okay? I started to say she here on this mother's skirt. And the mother bends down and says, so the mother's listening to the other lady speaking. Maybe she's the leader of that group right there. And the child was still anxious. And he seems a little bit desperate to tell his mother something. So the mother bends down to the child and she listens. And then the lady that's giving the speech said, "What is your son telling you? What is he telling you?" He said that your car is on fire. The lady could have just listened to the child talk and maybe her car wouldn't have burned up, but it burned up. I'm not going to say why I brought this piece into the topic right now. All I'm saying is let's be fair with people that feel more comfortable in speaking in their own language. When I speak, sometimes I use so many profanity that is unbelievable. I don't use it as much as I used to, but I use it. That's part of my growing up. I didn't grow up with wings. Oh, I didn't even grow up with horns. Oh, I just grew up in the hood with the other boys. And we have our own way of walking, talking, and expressing ourselves. Let's not take away how a person expresses himself. Let's not take that away from a person that's far away in a foreign country and they feel more comfortable speaking in their own language. Right here in America, a Mexican that lives right here speaks in Spanglish. Spanglish is short for Spanish and English. So we use the word, maybe let's say, if I can use it simple, let's go para el pueblo. I said, let's go to town. We inter intertwine both languages together. Sometimes our mind can think of a better in one language than it does on the other one. It all depends on the situation. Situation. Let's not take that away from people. Let's encourage them to speak in their own tongue. If a person really wants to know what they're saying, Or if they're talking behind their back, there's translators. I had one, but I don't know what happened. I lost it someplace. No, it's a nice translator. Boop boop, write down the phrase, put it down, and it'll tell you exactly. Many times in a relationship, we lose the translation of one meaning to the other one because it's different. It's best to not get all excited, read twice what you read, and ask the person to clarify what they were saying. If the shoe fits, put it on. If the hat fits, wear it. Okay?